Fireworks and dogs do not make a good combo. Let me give you a couple of tips on how to make sure that your dog is comfortable tomorrow, how to monitor their stress levels, and to make sure that you prevent your dog from becoming one of many that will inevitably end up in a shelter come July 5th. Friends, I'm just gonna be honest, I'm going to roll with the assumption that you are going to be at home and present with your dog. The best thing you could do is sacrifice this one Friday night and be home with your dog. I'm not gonna say anything else because, I'm not gonna guilt trip you further, but if you're wanting to know how to comfort your dog, step number one is to be present and be at home with your dog. Keep your normal routines to the best that you can. Watching TV with the family, eating chips and salsa, listening to music. Now, please know that classical music does tend to be a little bit more comforting for dogs. I find that Bob Marley, also very comforting for dogs. Do with that what you will. Play with your dog, keep them entertained, but play with them indoors. Look up brain games, look up training games with your dog on YouTube. Pick a couple. It's going to really help to keep them busy with you, not necessarily just chewing on some microplastics. You're engaging with your dog so that way their mind is staying actively aware of you and not the fireworks. This one's pretty quick. We're going to talk about checking your dog's stress levels. So 2 easy ways that you can do this. 1, can your dog follow a simple command or cue? Can they sit? Can they lay down? No, they're not stubborn. Guys, they could totally be stressed out. Will your dog eat food? Okay, if they're refusing food, then that could definitely be a sign that your dog is too stressed out. They're salivating, they're drooling, maybe they have bubbles on top of that outside of their mouth. They've got loose stool, they're physically shaking and trembling. All of those are signs that your dog is incredibly stressed out. There does come a certain time where a lot of dogs actually end up in the emergency vet due to stress. Please keep an eye on these things so that we are ahead of the game and not just noticing after the fact. Listen, I've never met a dog owner that actually thought that their dog would end up in a shelter the next day on accident. On July 4th, you are not going to let your dog go 1 split second without wearing ID tags of some kind that tell everybody and anybody that would come across them who they belong to. Even if you have a fenced-in yard, you can definitely consider putting a leash on your dog, but maybe not on the collar with the ID tags. Let's just make sure that we double, triple check that we are safe for tomorrow. Now, I'm not a medical professional, but if your vet prescribed your dog medication to feel comfortable during fireworks last year, check the prescription bottle. Is the medication expired? And last but not least, I need you to know that you are not going to reinforce your dog's fear of fireworks by comforting them. You cannot reinforce fear through comfort, I promise. All right, sweet friends, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful 4th of July. And I hope that your dog does as well. Let me know if you have any extra tips of what you do for your dog to keep them comfortable on the 4th of July. And I will see you guys again very soon.